Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Wayne County. We are a diverse congregation that welcomes you as you are, regardless of your age, ethnicity, race, sexual orientation, gender identity, economic status, or physical ability. We come together to seek deeper meaning and understanding from each other and the world around us. Your presence here today is a gift that brings us closer to that understanding. We are an active community that lives its values beyond the hours of Sunday service, and I would like to call your attention to the following. Dust off your party clothes and join the music committee for our fall chill and karaoke night. Bring your family. Come sing a solo or with a group, grab a snack at our ice cream sundae bar, or perform live. This awesome night is Saturday, October 11 at 7 o'clock at the Fellowship. Suggested donation is $5. And if you happen to have a karaoke machine that we could borrow, contact Sharon Delgadillo. We have received $160,041.52 in pledges towards the solar panel campaign goal of $160,000. If you have not submitted your pledge, please do so as soon as possible. If you have pledged, thank you so much for your generosity. If you would like to find out more about our activities, feel free to ask Karen Skubik, our membership coordinator.
Thank you, Sherry, and good morning, everyone. And I want to thank whoever put these chrysanthemums and little gourds up there. I figured it was Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. That looks beautiful. 3 weeks ago, I wasn't here, but the membership committee organized a committee fair, and I heard a lot of people attended. Some people learned more about our various committees and how our place functions, and some people signed up to help on some of the committees. If you were unable to attend that committee fair, we have handouts that were at the fair, and I added a little more information to it too. So it tells about each of our committees, or in some cases teams, and I'll have these with me after the service. And then there's also some new folks here that I told I would give a tour of the facility. If anyone else is new first time and they would like a tour, I'll be in the back of the sanctuary after the service and be happy to show you around. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning, friends. Am I on? Yes, I'm on. How's your heart? I feel like I have been asking that question every Sunday for the last 6 weeks. How's your heart? I don't know about you. I've been talking to a lot of people, and there's a word that's been going around a lot. Exhausted. I'm feeling exhausted. Not going to tell you you shouldn't feel that way. In fact, I'm probably going to tell you to lean into that and take a nap. Because we need to take care of each other. This hour, my friends, is about taking care of each other. This hour together is about settling in and thinking about what is larger, what is more important than us as individuals, and staying rooted in our values. Where are my jet pig folks? Who can give me my 6 UU values? J. Justice. E. T. All right, a little rusty on our T. P. Pluralism. I. Interdependence, not independence, interdependence. And G. Generosity. I want to thank you for the generosity of your time this morning. I want to thank you for the generosity of your heart this morning. Put down your worries just for the moment. Take a deep breath. Know you are loved. Open your hearts, and of course, please put your cell phones in worship mode. And join us now for our time together.
We need Barbara. Oh, boy.
Give her 2 nations.
Our chalice lighting this morning is We Hold Hope Close by Julian Soto. In this community, we hold hope close. We don't always know what comes next, but that cannot dissuade us. We don't always know just what to do, but that will not mean that we are lost in the wilderness. We rely on the certainty beneath, the foundation of our values and ethics. We are the people who return to love like a North Star and to the truth that we are greater together than we are alone. Our hope does not live in some glimmer of an indistinct future. Rather, we know the way to the world of which we dream, and by covenant and the movement forward of one right action and the next, we know that one day we will arrive at home. Let us now rise in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn, There Is More Love Somewhere. The music can be found in the gray hymnal, number 95.
Good morning. Come on up and help me tell a story here. Are there any kiddos and young folks or anybody else that would like to get closer to the story? What's that? What do you mean? Yes, we do. Okay. All right, good morning. Come on up. Sorry, I've got my portable kitchen here because we're going to need it to help tell this story. All right, pots and pans are ready to go. All right, so today's story is about a kid named Max who had had a pretty rough day at school and was telling their dad about it at the kitchen table. Max had been dealing with some tough things at school this year. They were really struggling in their math class, and they failed the completely unfair pop quiz that came out today, and they were feeling really bummed about that. And then on the way home on the bus, the kid that teases them all the time about the way they dress would not leave them alone. It was a rough day. Dad listened quietly. In the background, the news was playing on the TV. More bad news about awful things happening in the world. Oh! Max pointed the remote at the TV and turned it off and just put his head down with a groan. Everything is awful, they said. Now, Max's dad, who was a chef, stood up and started getting pots and pans out of the cupboard. And he filled those 3 pots with water and turned the burners up to high. Max eyed their dad. "It's a little early to be making dinner, isn't it?" they said. Dad replied, "I want to show you something that my mom taught me when I was a kid." So he started the water boiling. Now, here's where I need you for a little bit of magic. Can I borrow you? Can you stand right here and hold this corner? Okay. And can you stand right here? Oh, you know what? I started too soon. Back down. I'm going to take you in just a second. I got so excited about the magic, I forgot to show you the other part. Okay, so what they were going to put in the water was one raw potato, hard as a rock. Can I tap it on your head? Okay. It's hard, right? It's raw. It's a rough potato. Okay, so one potato in the pan, and then they put in one raw egg. I'm not going to crack it open. Trust me, it's raw. It's a duck egg. Pretty big.
It's got a hole in the bottom.
It does. Actually, that's a dot I put there to remind me that this was a raw egg. And then some tea in the other pot of hot water. Now we're ready to boil. All right, so lift it up, and for 20 minutes, then give it a little shake. Boiling water. For 20 minutes, it boiled. The potato and the egg and the tea. Keep boiling, keep boiling. Nothing's happening back here. Okay, just keep boiling. Nothing to see here. And at last, the 20 minutes was done. We can drop the boiling water. After 20 minutes, he took the potato out of the pot and placed it on a plate. And he took the egg out of a pot and placed it on a plate. Make some more space here.
Fat egg.
It is a fat egg. Those are duck eggs. They're extra fat eggs. Those are from my duckies. And then he ladled the tea into a cup and put that on the table. Potatoes, eggs, and tea. Max looked and just sort of with a blank stare. Now look closer, Dad said, and touch the potato. So Max did. And guess what? It wasn't hard anymore. It's nice and soft. Want to feel it? Squishy, mashy potato.
Like a French fry.
The hot water turned the hard potato soft. Okay, that was pretty cool. And then Dad rolled the egg.
This is a French fry.
Well, and you're going to imagine that that's peeling better than I'm doing right now. But let's look inside. Is it raw?
No.
No. The hot water made the egg hard. It made it firm and hard and solid. And then finally, Dad asked Max to smell the tea. Ah, can you smell it? Does anybody want to smell it? It smelled so good. This is chamomile and lavender. You want to smell?
Chamomile.
Supposed to be relaxing. You need any chamomile or lavender, Jack, or are you good over there? Okay, all right.
Chamomile shell.
Okay, Dad, said Max, that's cool. Hot water cooks things. I get it. Dad then explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and the tea each had faced the same adversity. What's adversity mean?
Criticism?
Criticism could be a word for it. Another word for adversity. How about you, Juan? You got a word for adversity? It's kind of hard to define.
Yeah, sort of like negative feelings or
Negative. Hard times.
hard times.
Okay, right? So hard things can be happening. All right, so the boiling water was the adversity, but each item reacted differently to the boiling water. The potato went in hard, came out mushy. The egg went in raw, came out hard. And the tea, though, the tea was extra special. The tea was unique. After it was in the boiling water, the water was changed. And it became something new and different. The tea added its own unique qualities, its scent, its flavor, its color to the hot water, and it actually improved and changed the water and changed it for the better. So when life feels hard or overwhelming or like everything is awful, Dad said, when the boiling water hits, how will you respond? Will you get soft and mushy like a baked potato and just feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I've felt like a mushy baked potato a lot lately. I really have. It's normal. Or are you going to get hard and rigid like the egg? I'm just gonna stay in my place and be hard. Or will you bring your unique qualities to the hot water and improve it and change it for the better? All right, so something to think about today. What do you think you would rather be? Does anyone want to be a mushy potato? Maybe. Yeah, you want to be a mushy potato? Sometimes it does feel good to be a mushy potato, yeah. But sometimes we have to look at the world and say, how am I going to be able to get through this in a better way? So maybe we can be the change to change the hot water into tea. All right, thank you for joining me for this story and helping me squish my potato, and we will head to our RE classes now.
I'm wondering how coffee fits in that metaphor. What happens when hard times go through you? Please join me now in the spirit of meditation and prayer. There is comfort in a cup of tea. There is comfort in a good mug that holds the heat as you wrap your hands around it on a chilly day. The ritual of placing the bag or the tea ball in the cup and slowly steeping it, watching the color change, slowly letting the aroma hit your nose, and just breathing deep in that moment. There is comfort in bringing about change in hard times. And it seems like we steep for too long. Thing to remember about tea is that the longer you are in hot water, the stronger you become. It seems that we are under a lot of adversity. It feels like the world is boiling around us. It feels like the times are changing us. But our center, our strength, our tea leaves will out. We cannot inhabit this world without changing it. And our values ground us. Our values center us and keep us strong in hot water. Enjoy your tea. Find rest in it when you are able, and don't be afraid to make it strong. Each week when we come into community, we carry with us different joys and sorrows. My heart is with the people of Portland today. I can't imagine what it is to feel terror in your home, to feel fear from an organization that is supposed to protect, that is supposed to help you thrive. I hope that there is no violence. I hope that this ends quick and uneventful. And I hope most of all that justice will prevail. If there is something that is on your heart today, a sorrow that is weighing you down, I encourage you as we sing Spirit of Life to come up to our Joys and Sorrows altar. Take one of the stones, put your worry on it. Let it go for just this hour. Put the worry on and let the water wash it away. And if there is a joy that is in your heart, put it on the stone. I know a couple Guardians fans out there probably have a few joys right now. That's worth celebrating. Put the joy in, let it ripple out so that it may be shared with the community. For we need your joy. If you need to talk to somebody this week, if there's something on your heart, let me know either while we sing Spirit of Life or after the service. I'll be standing back there, and we'll set up a time to meet this week. Steve Berg and Cheryl Wirtz are on our lay pastoral care team. And if you'd like to talk with one of them, they have wonderful, non-judgmental listening presence and would be glad to meet with you. Please join us now in our Joys and Sorrows ritual as we sing Spirit of Life.
Our faith is centered on the belief that we can make this world a better place for all who dwell in it. In order to realize that vision, we need both the motivation and the means. Your donation helps the community put its faith into action by supporting our programming and facilities. Each month, we choose an agency to receive half of the donations that are not designated for another purpose. In September, we will share the plate with People to People. People to People Ministries is an emergency needs ministry and helps those in need when there's no place else to turn. In any society, a number of individuals will experience a crisis during their lifetime in which they are unable to obtain adequate food, shelter, or clothing. The purpose of people-to-people ministries is to provide an immediate, realistic, and compassionate response to people with these basic needs when these needs are not being met through any other programs. This program is a nonprofit ministry supported through donations from churches, civic organizations, private individuals, and the Wayne County Community Foundation. For those who are watching online or who do not carry cash, you can donate on our website by scanning the QR code in the order of service and on the screen. The offering will now be collected and gratefully received. Join me in this unison reading. The words are on the screen. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. Let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others. Today's reading is Everywhere, Everywhere by Jess Reynolds. Ask me where my fear grows. Everywhere, everywhere. Out of broken light bulbs, through the cracked dirt of gasping riverbeds, in the rough green of every forest and climbing from the screen of every television like some sickly antenna. Poison berries on a vine. Every staircase as moss thick as the stairs where I sat at 6 and watched a fire burn through my backyard. Ask me where my hope grows. Everywhere, everywhere. Deep in basement corners, from the ragged concrete edges of sidewalks in the city. Quick and rough, like fingernails on the hands of someone who doesn't bite them like I do. Green spilling from the mouths of children, running wild from the hands of the librarians who taught me to see what I could be worth. I don't know how anything grows when I can't remember how to fill a watering can or how to check the soil to see if it's too dry. I don't know what green thumbs are, or chlorophyll, or gardeners. I don't know how the sun remembers to rise, or trains remember to run on time, or how people remember to be good and generous and kind when their hearts are always breaking. This is all I know. The flowers will grow. The flowers will grow.
The resiliency of nature. It's always amazed me. When I lived in Richmond, I lived technically in one of the southern suburbs of the city of Richmond called Midlothian, which meant if I wanted to get anywhere, I had to drive for 20 minutes. And the quickest way to drive anywhere in Richmond is to take the toll road. Be thankful you don't have a toll road to go through every day and pay $2.25 in order to get from point A to point B. But the fun thing about the toll road, if you're familiar with toll road, it's basically 3 lanes merge into 8 lanes all of a sudden, and you've got the lanes of booths. You've got the Easy Pass booth, you've got the exact change booths, and you've got the fully manual booth. This is where you go and give them $1 and they give you your change and a receipt if you want one. And one day, didn't have my Easy Pass, didn't have my 50 cents, so I have to go into the full service booth. And the full service line is always backed up, especially at 8:45. And so I'm sitting there just kind of watching and waiting. And I turn to my right, look out the passenger window, and I see something kind of odd. So the area next to the toll road is kind of like this sparsely wooded hill that kind of goes up into another neighborhood, and it's got some trees that are shooting up. And of course, being next to a toll road filled with exhausts and cars and noise, there's all of this litter all over the place, which includes a tire. Now, my first thought is I have no idea how this tire got here, because I was thinking if a car lost its tire, there might be some more damage on the road around here. But I figure maybe what happened is somebody went to change a tire and just left the tire at the side of the road. What was interesting about this tire is it had a tree growing through the middle of it. Not a small tree, not a sapling. The tree had grown so much the tire was starting to get lifted off the ground. Chris, I believe I have a picture. This isn't that exact tree, but it's very, very similar. But I saw that, and I was just amazed. I mean, I imagine in a few years, what's going to happen to that tire? It's either going to burst from the pressure of that tree, or the tree's bark is going to slowly envelop it, and it's going to be made a part of the tree. Eventually, nature will win out over humanity's carelessness. Eventually. Ain't that the hardest part? Yeah. Eventually. We see these moments of resilience in nature every day, if we look for them, right? The dandelion that insists on coming up through the walkway up to your house, no matter how much you spray, and don't spray the Roundup stuff, guys. You ever been out in the field and see the abandoned car that seems to have been there for decades, wondering how it got there? It's covered with rust, vines coming up through the wheel well, and a gaze of raccoons seems to be nesting in the back seat. By the way, proper noun for a collective of raccoons is a gaze. Yeah, I thought so too. Oh, nice. The slow insistence of growth eventually overcomes the insistent carelessness of humanity. Eventually, the flower will shatter the stone. Eventually. Problem is the meantime, isn't it? Meantime feels like the stone is winning. While you are waiting for that stone to shatter, it feels like the world is getting worse, not better. The last 250 days have been exhausting. Masked men, masquerading as law enforcement, have been disappearing people off the streets just because they look like they could be from another country. Never mind the fact that the United States is home to over 65 million people of Hispanic origin. We've seen attacks on higher learning. The administration policing the curriculum and the bathrooms of our institution of higher learning, literally whitewashing our history to downplay the importance of civil rights, to downplay the idea that we can grow as a culture and become more accepting. We see people getting punished for speaking out, whether they be former heads of the FBI, U.S. attorneys general, or late-night talk show hosts. We watch our cities become policed by our national forces. It feels like the stone of authoritarianism has landed on top of us, and we will never see light again. It feels like the times are changing and not where we want to go. And yet, the flower will shatter the stone. The flower will shatter the stone. I'm going to share with you probably one of the most famous pieces of Unitarian writing, something many of you are probably familiar with in some way without realizing it. I know Bert probably knows this. It's from the Reverend, where is Bert? He's supposed to be right there. Where is he? Where's Bert? Wave your hand, Bert. I can't see. He's out there? All right. I see you, Bert. Theodore Parker. How many of you know Theodore Parker? All right, we got a couple old school UUs. Theodore Parker writes, look at the facts of this world. You see a continual and progressive triumph of the right. Right in this context meaning moral. You see a progressive and triumph of the right. And I do not pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one, and my eye reaches but a little way. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by experience on sight. I can divine it by conscience. And from what I see, I am sure it bends towards justice. Things refuse to be mismanaged long. Parker continues. The stewards in England were tyrannical and strong. Respectable and peaceful men kept still a while and bore the tyranny. But men who loved God and his justice more than house and land fled to the wilderness and built up a troublesome commonwealth of Puritans. Such as stayed at home, endeavored a while to submit to the wrong. Some of them made theories to justify it. But it could not be. The tyranny became unbearable even to barons and bishops. One tyrant loses his head, another his crown. End quote. Sound familiar? At least half of that passage sound familiar? Many of us are familiar with it because of Dr. King's quote, "The arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice." And for those of you who are wondering, did King know about Theodore Parker when he said that? Yeah, he studied Theodore Parker in seminary. King was this close to being a Unitarian. Do you know what stopped him? White people.
Oh my God.
That's a just reaction. He was basically like, y'all can't handle me right now. And he was right. But yeah, King studied Parker. But I wanted to share with you the second half of that quote for context, because in the second half of the text, Parker talks about the Puritans fleeing England due to religious persecution and how others thought to stay, trying to justify the current tyranny. It's not that bad. But eventually, it became so bad that they fought against it, even the barons and dukes. Things refuse to be mismanaged long. Eventually, the stone will shatter. But not without the constant push. The flower needs to push. And the good thing is, we are starting to see more and more cracks in the stone, more and more folks slowly pushing against tyranny. I don't know about you, but when that whole Jimmy Kimmel thing started, I thought for sure, there is no way if I cancel my subscription that that's going to change Disney's mind. Boy, was I wrong. $8.5 million later. There are people who are saying, I would rather let my companies know that I will not side with authoritarianism. And look what happened. I've heard about this woman in, I believe it's California, who lives in a majorly Hispanic neighborhood that is often patrolled by police, and she is a very white woman. And she has on the back of her car a sticker of the flag of Mexico. And when she knows ICE is in the area, she drives around in her car hoping ICE pulls her over, and they do. And they look at this very Nordic woman and wondering, why do you have a sticker for the flag of Mexico? It's pretty. I love little acts of resistance like that. Last Sunday, I got to go to the College of Worcester in an event speaking up for defense of the Constitution, and there were about 40 college students there, easily 70 people, if you count those from the greater Worcester community. It is always heartening to hear our young people speak out against tyranny, who love our country and our Constitution and our founding principles enough that they want to fight to keep them. We are seeing one of our most precious Unitarian Universalist values bubbling up in response to the current national crisis. People are demanding justice. It's my belief that humanity can only stand gross injustice for so long before working to fix it. How many of you have ever heard of social inequity aversion? Where are my social scientists at? Social inequity aversion. All right. You know about the monkey experiment? All right. I'm going to talk about the monkey experiment. Don't spoil it. All right. The social inequity aversion is the idea that beings have a preference for fairness and resist inequitable outcomes. And I said beings. I didn't say humans. Because of the monkeys. Because of an experiment done with capuchin monkeys in 2003. And some of you may have heard about this. In the study, the monkey was supposed to hand a rock to the experimenter. And the monkey would get a reward. And they had two monkeys in separate sides of a cage, little dividers. Monkey hands a rock, gets a cucumber. Tasty treat, wonderful. Go to the second monkey. Monkey hands over a rock, gets a grape. Grapes, for those of you who may not know, are much better than cucumbers according to monkeys.
Yeah.
Monkey gets a grape. First monkey's like, what? Person then tells monkey, give me the rock. Monkey gets the rock. Hands him a cucumber. Monkey's like, no, grape, and throws the cucumber at the person administering the experiment. Goes back to the second monkey. Rock, grape. Rock. And the monkey tests the rock. Is this a good rock? I want to make sure I'm giving the right rock. Rock, cucumber. No cucumber. Goes over to the second monkey, and the experimenter doesn't even get a rock and just hands that monkey a grape. And man, this first monkey is about to lose their stuff. This monkey is outraged. Monkeys understand the concept of fairness, especially when they are being treated unfairly. And I have to believe, as human beings, we have some similarities with where the monkeys lie on this, with this social inequity aversion. I think we have a deep ingrained idea of fairness and equity within us. In fact, Reverend Parker, in that sermon I quoted from earlier in his sermon, says as much, quote, "Justice is the constitution or fundamental law of the moral universe, the law of right, a rule of conduct for man in all his moral relations. Accordingly, all human affairs must be subject to that as the law's paramount. What is right agrees therewith and stands, what is wrong conflicts and fails. Private cohesions of self-love or friendship or of patriotism must all be subordinate to this universal gravitation towards the eternal right." Let me break that down for you, for those who don't speak Victorian. We are all imbued with a sense of judgment. And all things that turn us away from justice and equity, all of those things eventually fail. Our ideas of self-care, our ideals of close friendships and family ties, and our love of country, all of them must be rooted in justice in order to thrive. The seed of justice, of equity, is in all of us. And we need to nurture that sense of justice. No matter how much the times change, for better, for worse, we must always be rooted in justice. This is the way the universe bends. Are we not a part of the universe? Therefore, if we are a part of the universe and the universe bends towards justice, logically, we must be the ones who do the bending. Eventually, we will find justice again. Eventually, we will break through the rock and we will flower. We will overcome the systems of tyranny. We just need to keep pushing. There's a line from Lord of the Rings that has been much on my mind of late. Frodo is lamenting to Gandalf about the upcoming fight against Sauron. This is in the second chapter of the Lord of the Rings, the very first book, The Fellowship of the Ring. He says, "I wish it need not have happened in my time," said Frodo. "So do I," said Gandalf. "And so do all who live in such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what we do with the time that is given us. We don't get to pick the times we live in. I don't know about you. I don't want to have to live in these times. I don't want to have to deal with what is going on right now. Back in 8th grade, if you would have told me this would have been happening, I would have thought you had lost your mind. I wish I lived in a time where the ideals of justice and equity flourished in this country. I wished I lived in a time where people stopped dehumanizing others, where people stopped scapegoating others, saying that others are the cause of misery, and not realizing that they are suffering as well, and not having empathy for their fellow human. I wish I was living in times that weren't changing this way. And the flower will break the stone. We will continue to push the flower to grow against all odds. We will draw strength from the soil of community. We will help others push their seeds, their flowers to the surface. We will celebrate and rejoice in every scrap of sunshine that we are able to find. And we will work to bring that brightness and to bring that hope to others. We believe the arc of the universe bends towards justice. And friends, our faith calls us, demands of us. We will bend it back. Stay strong. Support each other. Rest when you can. Resist when you are able. And never, ever stop holding justice and equity and love close. May it be so. Let us sing. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, Love Will Guide Us.
To
Please be seated. Before the benediction, I have to point out something that Sherry pointed out to me, that the reading just before the service, we make Sherry Gokenhauer, who is a farmer, saying, "I have no idea how things grow." Thank you for doing such a convincing job on that. But there is wonder to the growth, isn't it? You can know all about it, and it's still wonderful, and it's still magnificent. There is a lot of wonder and beauty going on right now. It seems like the world is falling apart. It seems like we are sliding towards tyranny, and we are still seeing resistance. We are still seeing people of love and justice work to fight what is going on. We are seeing people with love in their hearts standing up. We are seeing people living into their hearts and values. All I ask for you is just to have some of that love. I'm not asking you to go out and protest and demonstrate. I mean, if you want to put a Mexican flag sticker on your car, I'm not going to say no. But I want you to love into your values. I want you to radically love the stranger. I just want you to be who you are. May it be so.
say